This is Morgan Hazelwood, back again with more writing tips and writerly musings. Today, I'm back with part 3 of my Con Zealand WorldCon write-up, World Building Economics. I know, economics. The panelists for Future Economics were Jesper Stage, Carl Schrader, and Catherine Quevedo. While panel descriptions are always an idea of what the panel might be and not a promise of what it will contain, they're always a lovely teaser. So for Future Economics, the description was as follows. Will we ever fully disentangle from the physical? Blockchains, cryptocurrency, differently organic sentience? Will economic concepts of supply, demand, money, and resources hold up in the future, evolve, or be something entirely different? And what might they look like? While economics is usually seen as a dry topic, full of game theory and calculated systems, economic systems do not exist in a vacuum. And thus, here are 5 things to consider when designing future economic systems in your world building. First and foremost, remember when looking at the model that you must consider the humanity of the situation if you want both more nuanced and more accurate predictions. Secondly, do remember that most of the labor in this world is not actually done for money. Most of the labor in our world today is caretaking, and it's done by women who care about people in their families, the young, the old, the injured, and everyone in between. Getting a little more futuristic, let's talk about IP, or intellectual property. When IP is owned by a corporation, we know it's secure. But what about the people who create that IP for the corporation? For example, computer translation is getting better by analyzing translated works. What about the people who are doing these translations that the computer is analyzing? Where is their compensation? And just as a side note, if, as in the US, corporations are considered legally people, does that somehow make them immortal beings? Food for thought. So thinking of IP, let's go to the next step, which is where do the arts get their funding? In this day and age, many get their funding through Patreon and other similar entities, and projects get their funding through popularity. Popularity of the concept, the idea, but almost more importantly, popularity of its creator and the people, how many followers they have. And thus, this leads to the only the only ones making a living kickstarting successfully are the ones who have kickstarted and made a living. And so success begets success, and everyone else just kind of languishes. So let's think more about the computer side of this. What are, in our thoughts about futuristic economics, what are the roles for AI, artificial intelligence, and computers in the future? One suggestion for AI is, what if we had AIs that represented natural resources, like mountains, forests, rivers, what have you? And what if they were programmed to act in that resource's best interest? Food for thought. Another concept is universal income has been floated a lot as more and more things in this day and age are fully automated, and jobs are almost more make work than needed for survival or civilization even. And so In a world where we've automated so much, does it make sense for everyone to work 50, 60 hours a week? Or what if we were paid enough or given resources enough that rent and food weren't a problem? Then who would work? People working for jobs they love? People who want more than the basic income? And maybe people looking for a purpose. It's a very interesting concept to explore. And one of the suggested ideas is, where's this basic income coming from? Well, maybe it's from licensing all your personal data that they're collecting on the internet, on Google or Facebook or whatever comes in the future. So those are just 5 ideas and concepts and thoughts about economics and how it might work in the future. While a world fantastic doesn't have to be built on the economic principles that we live with today, exploring the alternatives and finding our way to the extrapolations of what that means for humanity can help create a world of nuance with a core of almost truth holding it together. When it feels realistic, when you can see how they got there, it makes the whole world gel better. So let me know, what real world influences do you bring to your world building economics? And what theories have you explored or would you like to explore in the future in your world building? And that's all for today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button and share it with all your friends. It goes a long way towards helping people find me. And I'll be back again next Monday with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye.